Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rob and this is RH Midwest Comics, and I'm bringing you another eBay Top 10 Sold Comics, this time for the month of November. So I missed October. Things were busy, right? Beginning of November when I would normally do this list. I was in Dallas for the Collector Summit, so I didn't have a chance to get this done. So anyway, we're doing it for November now, getting back on track. But since we have to wait for November to end, we do the video in December. So this is our Christmas edition. We're going to see who made Santa's nice list. I guess all these top 10 are on his nice list. But as you'll see, some of these, even though they made the top 10, have significant deterioration from previous sales. And some of them are record sales. So we're going to have a mix of a nice list and naughty list here. But let's get into it. Coming in at number 10, of course, Spider-Man has dominated these top 10 lists from month to month, having more books in the top 10 than anyone else, right? Any other title. So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 1, coming in at a CGC 3.5 for $12,200. Best offer accepted on this one. This is interesting because this 3.5 is white pages. You don't see white pages on a really low grade like this very often. There were, in fact, in all of 2023, there are no other what I call clean blue label, white page 3.5 sales that have sold. There was another one in October that sold for $8,400, but I wouldn't call that a clean blue label because there's a notation in the notes for tape on the interior, which obviously drives the price down for collectors, right? When you get a true clean book like this, especially with white pages, you're going to pay a premium for it. At least a little bit, especially when you get up into some higher grades. But even at a low grade like a 3.5 with a big book like that. So that's number 10. Here's an interesting one. Number 9, Ultimate Fallout number 4. This is the variant edition 9.8, coming in at $12,860. So this was an auction, and how the mighty have fallen here. And the last time I did my top 10 list, I actually had this on the list as well. And at that time, it was number 1 on the list, and it sold for $19,000. So another Jurjevic variant. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. $19,000, and now we're down into the sub 13,000 range. Only 2 months later. That was back in September. This is a November sale, so that's a huge drop just from September to November. Overall, this book used to be at $43,000. That is the highest, at least in GPA, the highest price sale that we've seen on this book in a 9.8. So it's dropped more than 70%. And my opinion, it's going to keep dropping. Still a big book. It's still I think most people would call it the modern grail of our time, at least for now. But it's so pricey, even for a variant like this that's more rare. That's a very, very high price because we're finding more and more 9.8s out there. All right, so that's number 9. Coming in at number 8, this is X-Men number 1, CGC 5.0, best offer accepted for $13,000. And another book which has just fallen way off. The highest sale we've seen at a 5.0 during the craziness of COVID was over $30,000. Can you believe that? So this is like, what is that, like a 60% drop or something like that? That's huge. But listen, this is good. I know a lot of people, there are a lot of collectors, I'd say more dealers out there that hear people talk about the drops in prices of grails, and they get upset. They get upset when people on YouTube or people on Instagram mention this stuff because they feel like it hurts their business, or maybe they bought during the craziness and if they have to move books, they're going to lose money on them. Yep, we're almost all of us are in that boat with at least one book or multiple books. But I still feel, first of all, it's good to tell people about the trends of books, right? To keep people informed. And it's also good because we're getting back to reality. In my mind, these books are still way more expensive than they were back in 2019. So they're still more valuable. And even more important, they're back to a more affordable level for people and collectors that want to buy these things. So yeah, who would have been able to spend 30 grand on an X-Men 1 5.0? That's a very, very solid grade, and people would be ecstatic to have a 5.0. So spending 13 grand instead of 30 grand, I'm good with that. So I think these are positives, right? It's healthy for the industry and for the hobby. All right, coming in at number 7, we've got Wonder Woman number 1, CGC 1.5. On GPA, we've never had a 1.5 sell before Wonder Woman number 1. So I'm happy that DC is making the list here. This was a best offer, came in at $13,500. Nice Golden Age book. This is not the first appearance of Wonder Woman. Some people think Sensation Comics number 1 is her first appearance, but it's not. It's actually All-Star Comics number 8. But this is still her first issue and her own title. Big book to have. Nice Golden Age DC addition to the top 10. Very happy to see DC on the list. All right, coming in at number 6, X-Men number 2, CGC 9.4, White Pages. Hard to find this book. This one definitely goes on Santa's nice list because this is a record price at $13,700, which breaks the original record, which was just over $10,000 back in 2020. Huge books. So not all Silver Age books are going down, right? When you get these higher grades, especially with White Pages, very hard to find. Again, it has to do with the rarity, right? The rarity of an X-Men 2 9.4 White Pager near mint condition. You're not going to find many of them. I did not look on the census. If I find it, I'll put it up on the screen here to see how many 9.4s are out there. I don't know if I'll be able to know how many are White Pages though. But anyway, great book. This is the second appearance of the X-Men, first appearance of the Vanisher. Well done. Well done. New record for that. All right, let's get into the top 5. This is Journey in the Mystery, number 83, first appearance of Thor, Dr. Donald Blake, CGC 5.5. Best offer accepted, $13,774. What else is there to say about this book other than it is a great Silver Age grail for many people? I have personally never owned this book. Out of all the books I've owned, I've never had a Journey into Mystery 83. So, I think I am due for a price analysis on this book. Of all, you guys have watched my price analysis videos. I've done so many of them now, Bronze Age, Silver Age books. I still have not done Journey into Mystery 83. So that'll be a new one, but before I get to that, I owe everyone an update on books that I've done in the past. So that one will come out before I do Journey into Mystery, but I think that'll be my next book, my next new book. All right, coming in, number 4. Here's another one, DC Golden Age book, Detective Comics number 30, CGC 5.5. Best offer accepted, $14,438. That was a new record for this book as well, so it goes on Santa's nice list. But shortly after this sale, there was another 5.5 that sold on Heritage, and it set an even higher record at $15,600. So, kind of interesting, when I looked at GPA, Tech 30 and a 5.5 had only sold twice in 22 years of CGC grading books, from 2000 to 2022. 2 times in 22 years. But then for some reason, in the month of November of this year, there were 2 sales as well. And both of them set records. So this was the record for 1 or 2 weeks. And then the book on Heritage set another new record. So great DC Golden Age, both this and the Wonder Woman book, great examples of just some really nice rarer books that are commanding record prices. Okay, so that is number 4. Let's get into our top 3. Spider-Man Hits Again, Amazing Fantasy, number 15. This one is a CBCS 1.0, and it is a signed book. It's a verified signature of Stan Lee, and we know it's tough to find grails with Stan Lee's signature on it. So this one came in. Best offer accepted on this one for $18,500. Good price. It's tough to compare CBCS prices with CGC prices, especially when you have a verified signature on there. And we also know that there's some risk there because CBCS has had forged signatures come through that they certified as verified signatures. So always a risk there, but nonetheless, if it is a true signature, it's a great book to have. All right, number 2, Turtles. Again, Turtles makes the list almost every month, at least once, sometimes multiple times. This is a first print, issue number 1, and it's a 9.0, and it is quote-unquote signed on the interior of the book by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. But so it got the blue label, but that does not mean it's a witness signature. It would have had a yellow label if it was witnessed. But CGC, I've seen this a few times now, where sometimes they'll give a green label if there's a signature, right? They'll qualify the book. But in this case, and in many cases, on Turtle books, they give it a blue label and just mention the fact that there is writing on either the cover or the inside cover of a name, and then they list the name in parentheses, or in quotes. All right, this book came in at $23,500. It's a best offer accepted. Huge price. Turtles makes the list again. All right, and coming in at number 1, Spider-Man again, Amazing Fantasy 15, first appearance of Peter Parker as Spider-Man. This one is a CGC 3.0. Best offer accepted, $29,449. This, okay. So this book used to be a $43,000 book, a 3.0. So it's down into the 20s now, but even though it's dropped that much, it is not the lowest price of the year for a 3.0. We actually had a sale that was as low as $24,000, and this one is, $5,000 higher, more than $5,000 higher. But the price has dropped with each sale since May. There have only been, I think, 3 or 4 sales, and all of them have been lower and lower since May. So I think the last 2 may have been, pretty close, right at $30,000, and then this one's a little bit under. So anyway, another Grail that continues to drop in price, but again, I think this is a good thing. It's getting to a point where some lower grades are going to become more affordable to a bigger audience of collectors, and that's always a good thing. All right, and over time, we know all these books are going to continue growing. It's for almost 25 years now since CGC's been around, and what's happened? Books continue to gain value. So this is a great list. Some of the ones that continue dropping we'll put on Santa's naughty list, and then the ones that have broken some records or remain strong, we're putting on his nice list here. And overall, just a nice, strong list. A little bit of diversity here. We have 1 book from Turtles. We've got 2 really nice Golden Age DC books, and then the other 7 are from Marvel. Marvel usually dominates this list, but it's nice to see some DC in there, and of course a Turtles book as well. So that's it. That's the top 10 from November. Hope everyone's enjoying the Christmas and holiday season here in December. Got some more content coming out soon. Some other shows I'm going to this coming weekend, so those will be out, as well as some more price analysis updates. So looking forward to putting all of those out there for you guys to watch. As always, leave me a comment, get in touch with me. I love to chat. And until next time, have a great day.
Ha 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 ha!